Well, yes, I was a bit surprised because I thought that by now people should know the legal age of marriage in this country. I mean, it is even such that even at 18, if you want to marry, you need the consent of your parents. The law is that protective. It's only at 21 that actually you can go ahead and marry without the consent of parents. So I was a bit surprised. I thought we should know. On the other hand, having worked in this area for a long time, sometimes it doesn't surprise me too much because in this country we still have many issues that have to do with children, children as boys and girls, and children as girls, okay, that have not been resolved despite the laws that we have in the land. So you have this mixed thing going on at the same time. And I'm sure it probably is even going on in other places if we are not careful enough to start looking out for some of these things. So yes, that's what I feel.
So, and I know Diana will speak on her professional capacity as the Attorney General's department and how they think, which we already have, a glimpse into what they are thinking. But it's important to know how you also felt when you heard the news before you began to gather your facts and to eventually issue a statement.
Thank you very much, Samson. I believe my feelings are no different from what Sheila and Angela have expressed. Worry also, because as Angela indicated, you would think that in this year of 2024, proceeding on the allegation, and I keep saying that it hasn't yet been proven, but assuming it's proven, there's a sense of worry that in 2024, people would be either oblivious or ignorant of generally human rights and particularly children's rights. But I must put on record that the public outcry also gave me some sense of happiness, because the public outcry is a demonstration for me of the substantial understanding of the general public of fundamental human rights, particularly children's rights. The converse is also true, because then it indicates that in 2024, we're still having some of these worrying cultural practices existent. So I was happy that at least Ghanaians are alert to human rights generally. They can at least sense a possible infraction of the laws on human rights, particularly on children's rights. Of course, social media has also contributed to this. So I'm glad that some progress, at least if we look at it historically, has been made in the sensitization. But it also tells us there is more room for improvement. Thank you.
And despite that, when you issued your statement, you also sought to educate by quoting the law.
That's correct.
To help people to appreciate it.
That's correct.
Why was it that important to refer people to what the law says?
Right. It became important because in the midst of the public outcry, there were some seeming justifications for cultural practices. And I like to point out, so there was an intersection between cultural rights and children's rights. And so it was imperative on our part to point out that assuming the facts are proven, there is clearly a breach of children's rights, and without prejudice to our cultural rights. And so it was important, of course, by our constitution, it is imperative that where there is an offense, it must be clearly spelled out, and the punishment for same is also equally spelled out. And that is why our letter indicated, first of all, the provision, the law, and what is possibly the infraction of that particular law, and also accompanied it with the sanctions for breach of that law.